It's Adam Lavelle of KnuckleTFUp.com. That's KnuckleTFUp.com. And today I'm going to be talking to Austin Spivey. Austin Spivey won his debut fight in bare knuckle boxing 44 from Denver on August 13th, 2025, just a short time ago. We're going to get to know this young man, and I'm telling you, this is Knuckle Rising, chasing the future. And Spivey is the future of bare knuckle boxing. Sit down, listen up, and embrace this truth. Let's get it started. The first question I asked him, your thoughts on bare knuckle boxing?
Bare knuckle, man. I'll tell you, there's not much as raw as bare knuckle as a sport. There's not much as raw as it, you know.
Right. Maybe that Muay Thai stuff where they can use headbutts. Have you seen that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, yep. And King of the Streets, have you seen that?
Yeah, I did. That's pretty crazy too. Yeah.
King of the Streets. You can eye gouge, you can headbutt. It's like literally anything. It's just like, and it's a Russian promotion, and they're crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not getting. You can't pay me to get eye gouged. I'm good on that. You know, like there's.
Yeah.
Or you can't pay me to get kicked in the nuts. I'm good. Like,
Yeah, that's
I
pretty.
don't want to do that.
Can't even fathom it. All right, I'll just jump into it. So you started when? I mean, you were like a teenager when you started MMA or whatever?
So, fun fact about me: I had a backyard fight club as a kid. We called it the Vados the Beatdown, and me and my best friend CJ Brandt, we started a backyard fight club. You know, as a bunch of teenagers. We only did it like 2 or 3 times, but I was known for fighting. I was in and out of juvie my entire life.
Right.
So I stayed in trouble. It was, you know, I wasn't a bad kid, but I'll put it like this for you. Anything I did, I would get caught for. So I could cross the freaking street the wrong way, and somehow I get caught. So you know that saying, if you're dumb, you got to be tough. It's very true. You're either gonna be tough, or you know, you're not gonna make it. So I ended up fixing my life later on. Of course, now I'm not in trouble at all. I'm not a troublemaker at all. I actually thank God for all the things I did as a kid. But yeah, so I actually only been training for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, 3 years. But in those 3 years, my 3 years is a lot different than a lot of people's 3 years. Where a lot of people, you know, they're in and out 3 years. No, I quit my job. I decided that this is what I was going to do as a career.
Right.
And I moved into an MMA gym, and I chased my dream for 3 years. So this is all I've did for 3 years is train, sleep, eat, and breathe fighting.
Yeah. I'm sure that helps. I mean, you hear that about people in regular jobs, like entrepreneurs. I watch Shark Tank, and they'll ask people, "Is this your only job?" And you know, a lot of times they won't invest in people if they're not doing that. If they don't quit their job and just do their entrepreneurship.
Yeah. The thing is, if you take if you have an understanding that you can lose your life in there, and you also are passionate about it, why not go all the way in? You know, the money comes and goes no matter what. So before I started fighting, I was doing automation, robotics, millwright, welding, fabrication. I was making $5,000-6,000 a week.
Wow.
I was still depressed.
Yeah.
You know, I was still sad. You know, so I didn't have anything to fulfill me. But what I've came to in chasing my dreams is a lot of fulfillment that I'm not sad. I'm the best version of me I could ever become. I'm a you know, I'm someone that my kids can look up to, and that's what's important to me. I'm living my dream, chasing my dreams. This is all I love. So not all I love, but you understand what I'm saying. This is what I'm passionate about. So
For sure. Yeah, I listened to some motivational speakers here or there. But you said they reminded me a little bit about Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if you've ever heard him, but he says that kind of thing. It's like he says, "I know multi-millionaires that are not happy." He goes, "They have all the money in the world, but they're miserable."
Yep.
And tell people that
Exactly.
isn't all that matters.
Yeah, not at all. I'm a very fulfilled person now. You know, I'm happy. I the money, like I said, the money comes and goes. Sometimes I make money, sometimes I'm struggling. But I will say, for the most part, I'm quite fulfilled. I live on South Beach, thanks to my team. Me and my girlfriend, we're a good team, and so I live on South Beach. So I'm not struggling by no means, but I still need to put the bread on the table.
Right.
So that's what we aim to do. Definitely. What you'll find out later on is I'm coming for that belt, and
Yeah.
not only that, that's just the beginning of where this is gonna start. I'm just my debut. That was just a little stepping stone. And
Yeah, that was great. I mean, and bare knuckle boxing seems high on you. They made like 3 or 4 tweets during
yeah,
and after your fight. I mean, do you think this guy's ready for bare knuckle boxing? We think so. So they seem to be excited to have you. So that's always a good thing.
yeah. Yes, thank God. Funny thing about the BKB is, BYB, which used to be BKB or whatever. It was the first bare knuckle promotion I ever heard of as a teenager. So the fact that I'm fighting on it now is crazy. And what's even more crazy? Okay, I told you, my backyard fight club was called the Valdosta Beatdown.
Right.
The event that I just fought in for my bare knuckle pro debut was called the Mile High Beatdown.
Right.
So it was like this big loop for me where this is where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
I felt I was exactly where I was meant to be.
So would you say the intensity of bare knuckle fighting is what drew you to it?
Yeah, he froze up for a second.
Okay. Yeah, the intensity. Do you think that's what really makes you want to do that? The intensity of it with no gloves.
You know, if I'm being honest, the main reason that I wanted to do bare knuckle, like I said, I'm from MMA. I'm a two-time amateur MMA champ, a two-time amateur boxing champ, right?
Okay.
With this being said, I hurt my knees,
Hmm.
so I couldn't do MMA like I wanted to do anymore. I'm a little bit. I started old, like older,
Yeah.
Like I said, 3 years ago I started training, so I started older. But when I hurt my knees, I'm like, what do I do? I lost my last two amateur MMA fights because my cardio.
Yeah.
If not only that, there was other things to that, but
Right.
I feel like a lot of the reason that I lost those fights was cardio because I never got knocked out. I never got stopped like that. I was always like, but my cardio was bad, so I gassed out.
Right.
And so I took a step back and I'm like, okay, let's do boxing. So I stepped up. I fought a guy that was 5-0 with 4 knockouts for my debut in professional boxing.
Wow.
I lost by decision, and I'm completely okay with that. The
Right.
guy's 8-0 now, or
Wow.
9-0, 8-0, 9-0. So the thing is, I'm completely okay with that. He ended up coming to the gym after we sparred. It was good work, but it was still humbling. The guy's probably going to be a future world champ for sure. His name's Douglas.
What's his name
He's
again?
very Douglas Marquin.
Okay.
He's very good. Um, but the thing, what I learned about boxing is there's a lot of politics that go into boxing, and it's a very corrupt sport. And unless you have the right people under you, you're
Right.
gonna get fed to the wolves. And am I a wolf? Yes. Am I a great boxer? Yes. I'm a very good boxer. But the fairness of boxing isn't on your side unless you have a promoter
Right.
and money. If you have money in boxing, then you can go somewhere. So when I found out about all these things, I'm like, okay, so what do I do from here? MMA, my knees, I can't really grapple like that anymore. I stay getting injured. What do I do? So everyone at the gym at Goat Shed and Fifth Street are both like, bro, I'll tell you right now, you're built for bare knuckle. And I don't know, something just clicked, and like literally, like looking back to even when I was a teenager fighting in the backyard
Yeah.
and I knocked 40 people out before I ever started training, like literally. Before I ever started doing any of that, it was bare knuckle. And I'm like, bro, maybe I should take up this maybe I should listen. So then, not only did they say I could do bare knuckle, they said, bro, you will be a champion in bare knuckle. And what I've seen, I've sparred with some world champions in bare knuckle, and I've gave them really good work. And I also believe that I could be a world champion in bare knuckle. So that's what. So my debut, like I said, I came in with like this is just a stepping stone. This is it. Like this is just the beginning, and that's the attitude I have. Hopefully, I get on the November Pembroke Pine cards, and that's my next step. I want to fight again in November.
Okay, good. Sounds good. Hopefully you do. Like I said, they definitely seem to be behind you. Now, you mentioned about the backyard stuff you did when you were young, and I chuckle at that because, like I said, I come from the world of pro wrestling originally, and there's a whole lot of that backyard wrestling
Of
stuff. I
course.
never did it, but there's a whole lot of it. But I'm just wondering if you had all those fights just in the backyard and stuff, is that where'd you develop the Dream Killer moniker? Did that come from that, like from stopping people, or?
So, I took my first title fight in MMA on 1 day notice, two weight classes up in a guy's hometown, and I finished him in the first round without getting punched once.
Wow. Okay.
So then the same promotion I fought maybe 3 weeks later, a guy with a great kickboxing record that was also a hometown guy, and I went to decision, beat him, and then I don't know. At the end, coming out, the whole crowd's booing me. Everyone's shooting me a bird, pissed off. All my people from Miami are also shooting the bird, pissed off because people are booing me and shit.
Yeah.
And it's respectful sport sometimes. Sometimes it's not. It gets ugly.
Yeah.
Whatever. Well, at the end of the match, I get my hands raised. They hand me the mic, and I just go off the deep end. I said, y'all might as well call me the Dream Killer,
Yeah.
because everybody got dreams, but I keep on shutting that shit down in your hometowns. So after the promotion, my original name was Sparta Spivey. After the promotion, called me Dream Killer, and so what's funny is I changed my name to Dream Killer. I went out my next two amateur MMA fights. Like I said, I lost. So then I heard on my last amateur MMA fight, which this is not just normal MMA guys I'm fighting either. This is number one, number two guy in the fucking country that I'm fighting in MMA at the weight class. So none of my records padded. I've always fought pro level amateur fighters since my debut.
Yep.
That's what I fought. But literally my last two fights I lost in a mid fight, and I'm looking at the fight, and I hear he must want to only kill his own dream.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these motherfuckers are the ones that started calling me Dream Killer. So I'm like pissed off about I'm killing my own dream at this point, is what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
So I changed my name back to Sparta.
Okay.
So actually, coming out to BKB, I didn't know they were gonna call me Dream Killer or none of that. I changed my shit back to Sparta because as Sparta heavy, I never lost shit, and I kind of let the Dream Killer shit get in my head or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. Humble. I'm still humble. I'm not trying to kill my own dreams. Obviously, I'm trying to build my own dream, kill other people's dreams. That's what it's about, And shout out to my team. It takes a team to make a dream happen, but it also takes a team to kill someone else's dream. So,
Well, for them, and I have a list of questions here, and we're not really on them, and that's fine. I'm liking how this is going because, but for your team, do you want to shout? What's the name of your team again, and give them a shout out?
I have Goat Shed Academy, which is the MMA gym that I train at sometimes, and I have Fifth Street Boxing Gym, which I teach there,
Okay.
and I also train there, and that's where my Coach Tiger is out of, Fifth Street. So.
Yeah, what I like about you in this interview just proves it more, and I think I'm good at spotting this, and I don't want to bring professional wrestling up all the time. That's where I was a fan of that for 50 years and a part of it for about 10. But there's one thing I've learned in it that I think carries over into everything. I don't mean just sports, I mean everything, and that is charisma. I think Now, you could have no fighting skill and all the charisma in the world. You're not going to go anywhere, of course. But if you have fighting skill and some charisma, you can talk on a microphone. You can get people to remember you, not just by your fighting, but by your mouth, your something about you that they remember. That's huge. It's huge, and I can tell you have it, and I tell other people I'm lining up to interview have it, and I love guys. It always bothered me when I was in wrestling. I'd interview guys, and they'd be like, "What do you want me to say?" And I'd be like, what? I don't know what I want you to say. I can give you some hints, I guess, but or other guys, I do my talking in the ring, and I see this in bare knuckle, and I don't want to put any of them down because some pretty talented guys say that, but at the same time, I'm like, man, yeah, you do. You're damn good, but if you could actually talk too, and have
You
some
would be
type
a
of
lot fucking better off for yourself, you
right
know.
merchandise and all
Closed,
that kind of stuff.
closed mouths, and then this is something I want you to quote me on. Closed mouths don't get fed. So I learned this mentality that I have, where at Ghost Shed's a very outspoken gym. It's a very driven gym. You're driven to be different there. You want to stand out, not fit in, right? So one of the things that are taught there mainly is to try to stand out. And I learned that early on that the people that stand out, my friend Big Bucks started a year before me. Big Bucks, his name's Jim Pacey. But he goes by Big Bucks. He has the loudest fucking mouth you ever heard, but he backs it up so good. He started a year before me. He's making his Dana White Contender Series debut next month. So, but he speaks good. He backs it up. And man, he's a fucking entertaining dude. So, versus you have people that have 22 fights, 30, they could be 22-0, and guess what? They don't fucking, they're not even in the Dana White, they're not even being considered
Right.
because they don't stand out. So at the end of the day, standing out means so, like, being able to back it up is the most important, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if I sit here and talk all this shit, it can easily backfire on me. And it has, but it has. I've had it happen to me, so it happens, But I'd rather stand out, be myself, be authentic to myself, be who I am, and have fun with this shit. I don't want to do something if I'm not enjoying it, and I literally enjoy what I do. So that's what That's why I can sit here and talk like this and be who I am, because I don't give a fuck if you like me or not. You know what I mean? That's just fuck it. I mean, you're either gonna or you're not. Most people tend to like me though. Is what's great. So
Now, that's how I am at my job. I mean, I have to be a little careful because it's a corporate environment. I'm a safety specialist, but I'm still known as the guy in the office. It's like, oh, Adam will tell you what he thinks, or Adam will tell you. Just ask Adam; he'll tell you. And I just appreciate that in fighters, and because there is a form of entertainment in it. I mean, the fighting's my favorite part. It's what took me. What finally I got something to replace wrestling because I was getting really sick of how silly it's gotten. And actually, my local pizza shop said, "Have you ever watched bare knuckle fighting?" I was like, "I've heard of it, but no, I never watched it." He goes, "Check it out." Okay, and the first show I don't remember which one it was, but I'm like, oh my god, it's like this is great. I can follow this more than or as much as I did wrestling back in the day. It's real, of course. But speaking of real, and I've heard this before, but what can you tell me about the punching? I know you had a quick knockout, but the training, I know you can't throw as hard as you can every punch, right? I mean, you just can't.
well, I mean, it's just like that in any sport. Yeah, I mean, any combat sport, if you're throwing as hard as you can every punch, one, you're gonna gas yourself out. Two, you're probably gonna get caught yourself, because what happens is when you start opening up every fucking punch, you start leaving openings.
Right.
You know, Coming out of the fight, this didn't even come from my fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
I came out of my fight unscathed.
Yeah.
This came after my fight. I got sucker punched. Whatever. I'm not even worried about it. But this is literally, I'm out celebrating that night, and someone sucker punched me, cut me open. They're in jail now. Whatever. I didn't do shit. I'm not gonna fucking go to jail for an idiot.
Yeah.
But literally, it. I think you set up those hard punches, right? And when you say real, there is a difference between hitting someone, even me hitting someone with my bare knuckles, it hurts.
Right.
So if I hit you as hard as I can with my bare knuckles, that shit hurts. Fortunately, I've never broke a bone. I've never dealt with anything like that. The only shit that I broke is my teeth. And I probably broke my nose a couple times in the past, whatever. Literally, I've never really had any injuries other than my knees.
Yeah.
Too significant, you know?
Right.
So.
The training you did for regular boxing, is it much different than bare knuckle boxing training?
So it comes to play, right? There's a difference in how you set up your punches, how you throw your punches, and what you can punch in your stance in boxing. But I have an MMA background as well, which really, I will say, if I can explain it, if you take boxing mechanics with MMA footwork
Okay.
and MMA clinch, you get bare knuckle.
Okay.
So it's a around it. It's dirty boxing, it's boxing, and it's MMA footwork, right? Because if I sit in front of you
Mm-hmm.
and we're here and I have these big gloves on,
Yep.
I can block a lot of your shots. Here with no gloves, and I try to block 2 or 3 punches,
Yep.
one's gonna probably get through. So that's why I say it's footwork.
Mm-hmm.
Your footwork takes you in and out of being able to get punched. And then the dirty boxing, the clinch,
Yep.
and it is also something different. But I have a lot of wrestling experience too, so I'm very good from the clinch.
Okay. I was
And
going to ask that. I was going to say, what do you think about the clinch? Because we didn't get to.
you
I
see,
was going to ask you what you thought about the clinch because we didn't get to see you do that. So that's kind of neat.
you see these fucked up ears.
Yeah.
That's what I think about the clinch. Go there if you want to. The guy tried to clinch me, and what I did is I just cross faced him, hooked him, boom, rocked him, and then that's when I walked up with the overhand left hook. But that's all you really see, fucking. The thing is, if you clinch with me, and now, so before, I will say, I'm just now generating the power that, like, is unforgiving power. Like, I'm learning how to really sit down on my punches.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I have a really great boxing coach, it's really helped me and knocking people out and dropping people and hurting people more.
Yeah.
So if you clinch me, it you're gonna pay the fucking price. And also, if I don't knock you out, I'm also gonna probably out clinch you. So.
And you would say you have a strong chin. You mentioned earlier you fought that boxer who was undefeated, and he beat you, but it was by decision. So I'm assuming that's because you can take a punch.
Never been dropped, KO'd, anything. I've been TKO'd in MMA, which means someone was ground and pounding me. I was not out. I had my underhooks and I was going to get up, but because those amateurs,
Mm-hmm.
they stopped it because I was bleeding. It's the thing about amateur MMA. Some promotions will let you beat the shit out of each other. Some promotions, especially if you're an A side, B side fighter, it's the same bullshit in boxing. If you're an A side fighter and you hurt the B side fighter, the ref's probably gonna stop it if they know that you're the B side fighter because that looks good for the A side fighter. The promoter's fighter. So it's the same bullshit in MMA. It doesn't matter what anyone says. It's the same corrupt bullshit in amateurs. But the only difference is MMA, there's more ways, it's way more unpredictable than boxing.
Right.
Boxing's unpredictable, but MMA is so much more unpredictable where I can knock you out with an elbow. I can knock you out with a random fucking spinning wheel kick. Like, there's so many things, more ways for me to hurt you in MMA than boxing.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, what do you think about the resurgence or whatever you call it of bare knuckle? You think it's going to get bigger, right? I mean, that's the feeling I have. It keeps getting bigger, in my opinion, as I watch.
It's just fucking getting started.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting started. It's just getting started. So that excites me too. Like BKB, they just signed not too long ago with Vice.
Mm-hmm.
Vice is a pretty big platform. Vice TV is. So that excites me, man. I think, before the end of it, especially with my personality and everything, and I think I stand out a little bit over everyone. I'm gonna be a superstar before it's over with. I see people in BKFC right now that I know personally that are fucking like stars, man, and it's crazy.
But what would you tell someone who wants to get into it? How would you go about doing that?
There's never a right time to start. So the best time to start is today. That's the only time to start because a lot of people they'll say they're gonna do this. They're gonna say. I took my first fight after a month of training.
Right.
I took my first MMA fight after a month of training. It is what it is. I will say your amateur record doesn't matter. Bang out those fucking fights, get that experience because that's number one. Experience drowns out every fucking thing else.
Right.
Experience.
That's something I like about bare knuckle fighting too. Is your record doesn't really seem to matter. I mean, if you're absolutely pathetic, I'm sure it does. But generally, if you're in there fighting and you're doing your best and you're, not, and like I've seen the guys 4-4 win championships. I've seen 3-4 get a title shot. I really, it seems to depend on, your availability, your attitude, your experience, like you're saying, and that's another thing I like about it. Because anybody can win at any time. That's what it feels like.
What shocks me the most in bare knuckle, and I don't know why, but more people tend to get knocked out than in MMA, or boxing, and I don't understand because me personally, like I said, never fucking been dropped, never been dropped, right? And then people are just getting fucking knocked out, and I'm just like, what's going on? Because most time, like a 1-2 people get knocked out with someone with serious power. But I will say some of the guys, most of the guys that fought on the same card as me, they all had a couple fights under them. I was the only debuter, I think.
Right.
But still, that was a fucking shocker to me that everyone's getting knocked out. I thought surely once I knocked him out like I did, I was gonna get knocked out of the night.
Yeah.
Especially, I didn't even fucking get touched, but the last punch. The last punch is the only punch that touched me, and that's the punch I knocked him out. So I was like, and it didn't rock me or anything. It was just like, okay, it grazed me, but because my fucking right hand was down. Yeah. But that's if I'm being hypercritical of myself,
Yeah.
So
I think the only reason you didn't get knocked out of the night, and again, this is just my unprofessional opinion, is because you were on the prelims, and they're going to give it to a guy on the main show. Since there were several knockouts on that show, so they were.
Yeah. But I think personally, no disrespect to any of the guys on the card, but I think my knockout was the prettiest knockout. I did. I think it was set up beautifully and it was executed well. And it's just if you're talking about performance of the night, that surely has to be me. It surely has to be me.
Right. Came in there and took them by storm.
Yeah.
Are you allowed, or what's the deal with it? Are you contracted? Are you allowed to fight other places? I know probably not the other promotion, but like Dirty Boxing or anywhere else. Are you allowed to do anything other?
Yes. I can fight in MMA right now. I can fight in Dirty Boxing. I can fight for Karate Combat. I could fight any fucking where except other bare knuckle promotions.
Right. Okay. That's cool.
And that's fine with me. If I wanted to box next month, I could go box.
Okay.
I will say this, personally, I'm focused on bare knuckles, so I really think that I have a chance of becoming champion.
Right.
So I'm gonna push for that until I get that,
Yep.
And that's my plan there, and I think it's gonna work out for me. If I don't want to be over here in the boxing area, I don't want to be over here in the MMA or Karate Combat area if my focus is to become a champion.
Right.
Now, if I was just someone that was doing it for income, I'll tell you, I wouldn't. I would be doing boxing as well. B-side boxing fucking pays. I got paid really good for my first fight. I did. Yeah. I did. I got paid really good for my fucking first fight. So.
Another combat sport. I just want your opinion on it. It varies. People either love it or hate it. Power slap. What do you think of that stuff?
If you want to go get slapped for money, at the end of the day, that's your own. So if you love something and you're passionate about getting slapped by someone else and you think you can outslap them, bro, More power to you, brother. But I'll tell you, it's the same shit with the combat jujitsu bullshit where you can open hand slap. Bro, I'd rather get punched in the face.
Yeah.
I feel disrespected when someone slaps me and it stings. It
Yeah.
hurts way more than a punch to me.
Yeah.
Like getting slapped, it makes me feel one, like prideful. Two, I get my feelings. Three, it pisses me off because it really fucking hurts. I
Um.
remember in school we used to slap box in the bathrooms, man, and I would get more heated about that than just like fighting.
Yeah. Just a couple more questions, and I'll let you go. We're a little over a half hour. Um, what role does respect play? I mean, I hear the commentators talk about it, so I know it does. But like, do you ever have a problem? You don't have to name names or anything, but do you ever have a problem respecting an opponent or him, you?
I respect every single person I fight, no matter what. That doesn't mean I don't want to fucking kill them,
Right.
or I don't want to like not kill,
Right.
like not like literally say like I don't. I'll tell you something about myself. I don't wish that on no one, not myself, not any opponent. At the end of the day, I always pray that we walk out of there healthy. All to God. Like because shit really does happen. Respect plays zero fucking factor. If you respect me or not, I'm still gonna try to beat your ass at the end of the day. So I don't give a fuck if you respect me. Me, I respect you, maybe not publicly,
Yeah.
but I have a respect for you because you're a fighter, right?
Yeah.
I respect everyone to a certain extent. Does that mean that okay, if you're a world champion, my respect for you is gonna go up a little bit. If you're fucking someone that's 0-5, obviously that's got knocked out 5 times in the first round, my respect for you is gonna be a little bit less.
Right.
But that does not mean shit because the world of combat sports is a weird fucking place where I could be someone that's 5-0 and take someone that's 0-5 and put them together, and somehow this fucking 0-5 guy knocks this guy out.
Yep.
It's the underdog rule, you can never count anyone out completely. And that's what makes betting on this shit so exciting,
Yeah. For sure.
By the way, can you believe that I was the underdog? I love that. I love that I was the underdog on the odds because, I told my people, I was like, this just means y'all are going to make more money.
Right.
Let's go.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, I love your attitude. I love the nickname. And you said you're hoping to fight in November, correct?
Yeah. Pembroke Pines, November.
But I thank you for your time. If there's anything you want to share with anybody, any of your socials, anything you want to tell anybody?
Yeah, follow me over at Sparta_Spivey on Instagram or Austin Spivey on Facebook or Nature Unhinged on TikTok. And it's a nature account, but yeah,
Cool.
it's
Yeah,
fun.
if you just pop those into the message after we're done here, I'll put them on the description of the video too. So we'll have them on.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, and we'll talk to
No,
you
I
again.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Next time, dale, brother, dale.
Yes.